Blessings in the name of the Lord Jesus. Welcome to Paraclet TV, making disciples through the power of the Holy Spirit. Welcome to Paraclet TV. Once again, welcome to our academic program. And at this point in time, a very important lesson I will teach you so that this might help in you, especially if you are a teacher or taking up education or even in psychology. This will be an additional knowledge. Or even if you are interested in it, you will be learning many things about this video. And this video has the following intended learning outcome. Our lesson intended learning objectives at the end of the session, 100% of the learners with 100% level of proficiency will be able to discuss the behavioral theory by Thorndike and to apply this theory in the class. So it is very obvious that another behavioral theory I will be discussing with you in this time by a famous theorist named Thorndike. And according to Lucas and Corpus in 2014, they have defined in their book the theory of behaviorism. And according to them, this is the study of observable and measurable behavior. So of course, when we are dealing with students or pupils, we will find behaviors, different behaviors that are being expressed by our students or by our students. And this behavior usually are observable and measurable. And because the observable and measurable behavior are the proofs of the success in the teaching and the learning process. If we will not see any observable or measurable behavior, then there is no change or changes that happen to our students. So meaning our teaching learning process is not a success. And it is also learned through conditioning and enforcement or rewards and punishment. So in the school, in the teaching learning process, in the different classrooms in the school, there are many conditioning, there are many enforcement or rewards and punishment. One best example for conditioning is the grades that we give to our students. And of course, there are some routinary activities during the start of the session. It can also be called a conditioning. Say, for example, we will ask our student to sing. We will ask our students to really clap for their classmates. That is an example of conditioning, or even giving them material things such as candies, giving them, allowing them to play outside the room, and but of course they must be guided. That is an example of conditioning. And enforcement, there are also example of enforcement in the class, such as asking our students to make an assignment or to do some exercises, or yeah, and this is an example of enforcement activities to condition our students to perform better. And of course, rewards and punishment are of course a very good tool in order for the students to perform better in the class. Okay, so let us now focus on our behavioral theory, which is authored by Edward Thorndike. Who is this Edward Thorndike? So Edward Thorndike is an American psychologist, and his career is he was a teacher in Teacher College, Columbia University for long period of time. And he was born in August 31, 1874 in Williamsburg, Massachusetts, United States. And of course, he died in 1949. And he is considered by the psychologists in educational psychology as the father of educational psychology. And he became famous because of his law of effect and of course of behavior modification experiment or theory. And he earned his education from Wesleyan University in 1895. And of course, he studied in Columbia University. Then Edward Thorndike, we will find that in 1905, he formalized the law of effect. And what is this law of effect? Law of effect, as you've seen in the screen, are the responses that are immediately followed by a satisfactory outcome and become more strongly associated with the situation and are therefore more likely to occur again in the future. Okay, these are responses that are associated with a repeated situation, and when it is being repeated, it will be occurring in the future so many times. And conversely, responses followed by negative outcomes become more weakly associated and less likely to reoccur in the future. So, of course, there are also some actions or some stimulus that results to negative outcomes. So when there is a result of negative outcome, most likely this action or stimulus must not be repeated because it will not produce good results to the student. And the law of effect was the result of his extensive study with animals. So we will find that Edward L. Thorndike experimented on animals, and we will be discussing this experiment as we go on. And Thorndike created devices called puzzle boxes. So he used puzzle boxes in his experiments, and within the puzzle box, he put the animal, and upon giving conditioning or upon giving some manipulations about some parts of the puzzle boxes to condition the animal, then it will produce a different behavior, and that is called the law of effect. Let us see one of the experiment of Edward Thorndike. So in one of his experiments to really back up the law of effect, in the puzzle box, he put the cat, and within the box or the puzzle box, there is a lever, and we will find that this lever is a tool or a part of the puzzle box. When it is pressed by the cat, he will be able to go out. The door will be open, and the cat will be able to go out from the box. And when the cat will do it repeatedly, then the cat will be trained to go out from the box because of the pushing or touching the lever. And it is said here that behavior followed by a reward is more likely to reoccur. And Edward Thorndike, I believe that if the cat touch the lever and goes out of the box, there is a food being offered to the cat as a reward. Then if there is no reward, of course, behavior followed by unfavorable consequences less likely reoccur. So when that cat will experience something bad after touching the lever, so therefore he will really not do it again, touching the lever. So in this example, the law of effect, there are two sorts of rewards as you seen in the picture. We have a positive reinforcement. We have also a negative reinforcement. And these are two largely reinforcement that can be seen, of course, in the classroom used by the teacher. And we will find here that in a positive reinforcement, something good happens. Or you can give merits or positive points to your students. Say, for example, you are conducting a game to really reinforce the lesson for your students, and whoever wins, there will get a merit or a +1 or +2 in their recitation or in their grades. That is an example of passive reinforcement. Some uses candies, and some other in the preschool, they uses the teachers are using a mark, a star mark on the arm of the pupils. Then we have also a negative reinforcement. Nothing bad happens. Say, for example, in this example, if you brush your teeth, you will avoid cavities. So it is not that related, of course, to academic achievement, but it will do good to you if you are going to brush your teeth. Rewarding behavior usually rewards the repetition of that behavior. So as a teacher, I have seen this so many times that when I give students additional points, especially those that are coming before the time, when their names appeared on the list as punctual students, they will, of course, receive positive reinforcement. And those who will be coming late will, of course, will not receive a positive reinforcement, and that will be a time for them to really come early so that they will receive that positive reinforcement or that reward. And then not only the law of effect is proposed and done by our psychologist Thorndike, but of course, to him, we also have the law of exercise. What is law of exercise? It is stated that more an SR band is practiced, the stronger it will become. Now, the stimulus and respond band is practiced, the stronger it will become. There is a saying, practice makes perfect. When you do practice it always, you will, of course, be leading to perfection. We learn by doing and we forget by not doing. So this is very seen in the law of multiple responses, that when we use different responses or different senses in education, the higher is the rate of learning of our students. When they are asked not only to use their eyes, but also they will be using their lips to speak, to recite, when they are also asked to use their ears to listen to music or to listen to our directions, and then we will ask them to demonstrate wherein they will be using all their parts of the body. They will, of course, learn more than if they will not do it, they will forget what you have taught them. So as our connections that are repeated are strengthened, as our connections that are not used are weakened. So the law of exercise is really being used in the classroom. One example is, of course, in teaching mathematics. In order for the student to learn how to add, how to subtract, you are going to give them many exercises. And if you're going to give them more items or more exercises, then you will really perfect how to add or how to multiply. This is also seen largely in physical education, wherein if the students will perform a dance or they will recite a poem or an oration, so they have to really do some exercises, and if they will do it again and again, it will be perfect for them if they will continue to practice. Okay, then there is also another law by Thorndike, and this is called the law of readiness. And according to this law, when someone is ready to perform, some act to do is satisfying. Of course, when you are ready to do something, and of course, your performance will, of course, be satisfying not only to you, but of course to those who will view, or to those viewers who will see you perform. When someone is ready to perform, some act not to do is so annoying. Say, for example, you have asked your students to prepare for a quiz, and then you did not give the quiz. So it will be an experience that is annoying to those who prepared. Or say, for example, you have given them assignments, and then you tell your students that you will be checking the assignment, and then the other day you did not give any attention to the assignment, then those who made the assignments, they of course will be annoyed. But those who have made the assignments and you have checked them, of course, they will be satisfied. When someone is not ready to perform some act and is forced to do so, it is annoying. Okay, especially when you are going to, of course, when there is an unscheduled, no, unscheduled recitation o kaya unscheduled performance of a poem which you have assigned and you have told your students to prepare, and you will be announcing the schedule of their performance, but because you think that that's the right time to call them, even they are not prepared, if you are going to call them to perform, of course, because they are not ready, it will be a discouragement or annoying to them. So let us be a very effective teacher by asking our students to be always prepared by giving them correct directions. And when we say something to them, we have to really do it. No, when we say that we will have a quiz, when we say that we will have a recitation, when we say that we will check the assignments, we have to really, of course, do it as we told them to do so that they will not be annoyed. There are principles that we derive from the Thorndike's connectionism. So connectionism is, of course, another philosophy that Thorndike has authored. And according to this connectionism, that everything, of course, that we do in the classroom must be connected to the previous. Say, for example, our lesson for today must be connected to the previous lesson, or all our activities in the performance must be connected to the subject matter, or in short, that everything that we do inside the classroom must be connected with each other and with each other. So there are principles that I want to discuss with you. Number one, learning requires both practice and rewards. Okay, so don't forget that our students should be given enough time to practice, to exercise, to review, to do an assignments. And of course, we must not forget giving them rewards. Rewards can be in the form of words, very good, or congratulations, or we can also ask our students to clap their hands as a reward. And of course, grades are rewards to our students. We can also give additional points to those students who have done an extra mile, when you give them an assignment. Next principle, a series of SR or stimulus response connections can be chained together. So if you have seen that one stimulus has a good responses, so we have to make it always. But if you have seen that our stimulus is not producing a good response, so we have to stop it. Say, for example, we have give a demerit as an example of a stimulus. We give a demerit to one student, and the student was not encouraged, so we have to stop that. No. Then number three, transfer of learning occurs because of previously encountered situation. So without the encountered situation, there will be no transfer of learning. So one key thing here is we have to really do a very good and effective transfer of learning using appropriate methodologies and techniques, so that there will be a very good transfer of learning. So we have to offer our students a very positive situations wherein there is freedom, wherein they can express themselves, wherein they can recite, and give them time to really show their talents and perform better, so that there will be a very good transfer of learning. Then number four, according to connectionism, intelligence is a function of the number of connections learned. That's true. You will be intelligent if you have different activities or different academic activities that you are doing. Say, for example, after the discussion of your teacher, you do some reviews and then start to memorize, and then not only that, but you search on the Google about the same topic, and then you write it down. So these are many activities that you are doing. These are called number of connections that are learned. So of course it will really level up your intelligence. So intelligent students or even intelligent teachers are really doing many activities, and when you do it successively or repetitively, of course, the higher of intelligence will be accomplished. Share Jesus.
Subscribe and
Subscribe and
share
share
Paraclet
Paraclet TV.
TV.
Go, go, go.